welcome back to the Pen and Ink Well. Thank you very much for joining me. It's very close to Christmas. It's Sunday evening again. It seems to be a regular day for us to be able to have the time to be able to film really on a Sunday. Yesterday was one of the busiest days I've had, finishing off all the Christmas shopping, but I am so glad to say that I am almost done, almost there. But I wanted to give you some temptations and be giving you some ideas as well for sort of Christmas, and with this pen that I'm going to show you today. It is a pen that I have been looking at for a long time. I have been umming and ahhing over this pen for absolutely ages. The colleagues of mine on the United Inkdom all have one of these pens and they've spoken very highly of them, and I just haven't quite had the funds, and especially this close to Christmas I couldn't justify spending some money on me really. However, with a discount that's being offered right now at Cult Pens on all of these, on all platinum pens, it just was sort of too much really to turn down, so I had to jump in and have a look. So before I carry on, I suppose, any further, what we're talking about here is the Platinum Century 3776 fountain pen. It comes in multiple finishes, and that was another sort of issue that I had, was which one do I get, in various price ranges from £99 up to £229, depending on the finish and the material of the pen, and the nib that's in it. They are all gold, 14 karat gold nibs. The dearer ones are made of celluloid and there's some beautiful colours. But I really wanted to, the cheaper end of the £99 one, that was black, and yeah, black pens don't really do much for me. For a black pen to grab me takes an awful lot, and it really wasn't going to do it. It just would have been one of those pens that just would have sort of said, nice nib, but does it look nice to me? And for me, call me right, wrong, I suppose it doesn't really matter. This is, say, all the way through this, as I've always said, this is always my opinion. I like a pen to look pretty, and I like it to be attractive. I like it to set itself apart from other pens that I have, I suppose, and that is aesthetically as well as the way that it writes, and they have to go hand in hand together. I have some pens that look beautiful but don't write too well. I have other pens that write beautifully but don't look as nice, and I suppose that holy grail pen that many of us fountain pen lovers sort of look for and search for is maybe one that sort of combines both of those, and I suppose we'll always keep going looking for those, and even if we find that grail, chances are we'll keep looking for something else. However, I completely digress and I will stop talking so much. This is part of the United Inkdom's last review before Christmas, and this will be posted now. I hope it'll be up live tomorrow on Monday the 21st of December. Yeah, it is the 20th of December today. My goodness, it's 5 days till Christmas. I finished work as well, which is lovely, and I don't go back until after Christmas, which is beautiful. However, it is going to combine this video along with the beautiful handwritten reviews that Scribble does for us, and Pens, Paper, Pencils. Ian at Pens, Paper, Pencils has also done his beautiful photographic review, and they'll all combine to create our meta review on our site at the unitedinkdom.uk, and you'll be able to take a look. However, these are my opinions on this pen. They will write their opinions of this pen, and then we'll sort of combine this. But if you're just looking for mine, they will follow shortly on this pen. So what we're talking about here, it comes in this little box. I'm not going to get it out yet. I'll give you a much closer look now, because what I'm going to do is turn the camera around for those of you that's joining me for the first time, and we'll have a very close-up look at this pen and just give you an overview of the details of it so you can make your mind up. I've gone with the Chartres blue. I'm pleased I have. It was that sort of middle of the road, fairly inexpensive, by comparison with the models of the pens. And as I say, Cult Pens right now are offering 20% off all platinum pens. There's every platinum pen in the range, from the preppy right the way up to these. and that is quite an offer. I don't know how long it's going to last, but the guys at Cult Pens were very kind enough to send me this for review, and I have purchased this pen and I will be keeping it, which tells you my thoughts to start off with, but I'll go into a bit more detail. However, before I sort of turn the camera around, just want to say very, very Merry Christmas to all of you if I don't get another video out in time. I hope to do a little video middle of next week, a couple of days before Christmas, having my hair done, which will get rid of this awful colour now. And I just want to say very Merry Christmas to all of you, and hopefully I'll do a specific Christmas post soon. But if I don't, or you don't notice that one, thank you so much for all your support. Caris and I really appreciate it. And if we do get that video out, and I really hope I do, so keep an eye out between now and Christmas, I hope to get Caris in front of the camera for the first time. She is smiling at me right now, sat behind the camera and looking all embarrassed, but I hope to get her in front of the camera so you see who it is that helps me do this and who is equally nutty about pens as I am. And note, I've got my father into them as well very recently, which is wonderful. Share the joy, share the love. But thank you very much. I'm going to turn this around now and I'll see you all in 2 seconds. Welcome back. So we're looking at the Platinum 3776, the Century pen. So this is how this comes. So a really nice box which reads Platinum since 1919, Japan. And then we'll take this out. And even once we've got out of here then, we find this really nice blue sort of domed, slightly domed box. Nice feel to it, feels fairly luxurious, doesn't feel at all cheap or anything, feels nice. And it's got a really nice closure on it. So this is what we're looking at then. So Platinum since 1919, Japan. And then here's all our little bits. So our warranty card, the 3776 Century User's Manual. It comes with a converter, a platinum converter. And then here's the pen. So this is the one I chose. This is the Chartres Blue. Chartres Bleu, starting to sound a little French. So I go French, not go French. Chartres Blue. And this is the gold trim on it. I'm going to put this box to the side, out of the way. So I come in a little closer for you to see this now. Can I also please apologise for the nails? I don't want any comments of it. I know they're too long at the moment. I know they're a bit of a mess. I am having them done tomorrow. I just wanted to really get this video done today. I couldn't wait till tomorrow to have them done. So my nails are being sorted and they'll be neater by the end of tomorrow. So please ignore that for now. However, this is the Chartres Blue. So as you'll see, it's partly demonstrated. It's got this clear look about it, and you see the light, which is what I love about this most. You see the light going through that pen. So it's a typical, what I call a sort of cigar shaped pen. It's sort of modelled off that Mont Blanc 149 sort of range of pens there. Has that sort of, that classic look, classic fountain pen look to it. But for me, the blue of this, the iridescent blue, the fact that you can see through that there, see through the cap, really sets it apart for me. Let me just give you the details on this then. So weight wise, it's 26 grams I weighed it as. I have seen details, somebody say that they weighed it at about 20 grams, so whether my scales are wrong, I don't know, but I weighed it at 26 grams with the cap on and weighed it at 15 grams without the cap. So a lot of that weight is in the cap. And I can believe that because it has this slip and seal mechanism within that cap, which I'll speak to you a little more about in a moment. Measurements wise, it is 140 millimeters from tip to toe. It is 120 millimeters without the cap, and it's 155 millimeters when it's posted. Width wise, it's 14 millimeters wide here at the barrel, and it's 10 millimeters at its narrowest point around the grip section of the pen. So this pen, let's say, details are going. So this pen currently retails here in the UK, and I know we, us Brits here, have to pay a little more for our Japanese pens. This retails at £109. But to be honest, even at £109, I think this is a bargain. I've paid more for some steel nib pens, and this is a 14 karat gold nib, and these are nice nibs. I haven't heard anybody speak ill of these nibs yet, but over at Cult Pens they're currently offering 20% off this range, so that brings that down by about £21 and brings this pen into the sub £100 mark, into about the £80 mark, I think I worked out about £88, which temptation was too great to leave it alone then, and I had to get one. So let's have a look at this in closer detail. So it has, this is the gold trim. It is available with the rhodium trim as well, as far as the fittings are concerned, and that's a fairly recent one, but that is an extra, I believe it's an extra £20, that's £129 for the rhodium trim. It also comes in a, what they call Bourgogne, which is a deep, beautiful deep wine colour, which is really nice as well. And then they have various demonstrator models, limited edition for demonstrator models. However, it's best to just head over to the website to have a look. So let's have a look at this in detail. You can see that, see the colour and the light shining through that cap there. So the heads are domed and barrelled here, slightly slimmer at this end than it is at the cap. Gold trim. If I wanted to speak of anything negative, I think it's this clip. I think it's a bit, you know, it works well as a clip, but I find it to be quite, it feels really plastically. You know, it doesn't feel as nice as the rest of the pen. It does feel sort of, you know, very light, and as if it, you know, I'm afraid to sort of pull on it too much. So we have the gold band around the middle. Let me see if it'll focus for you to be able to read what that says. So it says platinum, made in Japan, and then some writing 3776 with the extra gold band around the end, and then we mirror that gold band at the end of that here. So let's take this cap off. Look at that nib. It's a pretty nib. The nib reads 3776, and then the pattern logo, that P there, 14 karat gold, and this is a fine nib. And then what I really, it's just me, I really like that heart-shaped sort of air hole there, which, you know, breather hole, which I really quite like. So the 3776, for those of you that aren't aware, refers to the height in meters of Mount Fuji, and that's, you know, the thing with this range of pens. It has this gold band here again, which matches the bottom here, and just, we'll have a look, this is a cartridge converter pen. So there's the ink in the cartridge converter. Again, if I'm being picky, would have preferred to have seen this in a, you know, a gold trim finish to match the rest of the pen. However, I can understand, you know, that you wouldn't. This is to say, for those of you that aren't aware, Japanese nibs are much finer than Western nibs on the whole. I'm not saying that's the case in every single case, but certainly in this one. This is a fine nib, which is finer than many of my extra fine, maybe Lamy or Kaweco or even the Twisby nibs are. This is a very fine nib, and these come with, are available in a huge range of colours, not colours, sorry, nib widths, I can't get my words out, from ultra extra fines to soft fines, which has a bit more sort of flex in it, to the very well sort of documented as well and sort of well highly thought of music nib that's available, which costs that little bit more. But you know, certainly have a look. And over the unitedinkdom.uk, our, you know, my other sites that I run with some of my colleagues, they have this pen in other nibs with other nib finishes, and they're reviewing theirs based on what they have, so it'll give you an idea of the different nibs that are on offer here. But other than that, you know, it's lightweight, it feels nice in the hand. You know, it doesn't, I don't post it, but you can post it and it doesn't feel unbalanced posted. You know, I still really like that, but I don't tend to post my pens anyway. I don't think there's anything else to say, and I don't want to take up too much of people's time. I'm going to be doing a writing sample now in just 2 seconds, so join me very shortly and we'll have a look. Thanks. Welcome back. So we're just going to do a very quick writing sample. So this is a Roger dot pad that I do all my reviews on. It's always on Roger paper, whether it's a dot pad or a grid pad, but this is the dot pad. So this is the Platinum 3776 Century. This is the Chartres blue, and this is a fine nib. The ink this time is Diamine Bow Blue. If I'm being entirely honest, I'd say this ink is a little too dry for this pen. It's fine and it still writes comfortably, but I had a different ink in this earlier and I can't remember what it was, and the ink flowed far nicer on this. But I have got a barrel full of ink on there and I'm going to use it, and I do like this colour anyway. So as you can see, if I just see if I can zoom in there, it is a fine line and it writes smoothly as well. I haven't had, sorry, I've gone a bit too far, I haven't had any issues with skipping. The ink flows well, it's consistent, but as I said, this isn't the pen. I would say this is, you know, this specific ink is a little dry on this pen. There is a little flex on this pen, as you can see. Can give you a little bit of width variety. Yeah, and that's, I think, you know, due to the softness of this gold nib pen, you know, which I like it. As I say, you know, it is a dry ink, but I do love this ink. Pretty, what I call a baby blue. I don't think there's anything else for me to say, to be honest. It is, I enjoy writing with it. I am absolutely thrilled that I have it in my collection. It will not be leaving my collection. It's certainly a staple one at the moment in my rotation that I am using, and I'm going to experiment with various different inks. I can't get away from blue inks at the moment with it because of the colour of it. I sort of feel it needs to have a blue ink in it. If anybody's got any other advice as to different colour inks they've used in blue pens that give it that nice sort of wow factor, then please drop me a line. Let me know in the comments below. Very grateful to hear them. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video, leave a comment, any suggestions you have or anything you'd like me to look at, any questions you have, more than happy to help. Please leave in appropriate comments and keep them to yourself. I did have a couple sort of recently. However, never mind, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But do leave, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. We've got quite a few more videos coming up over the next fortnight now while I've got a bit more time off. And I will, if you don't hear from me again, have a lovely Christmas for 2015. Have a great new year for 2016, and we'll see you very shortly. Bye.